All right, question 4 is asking the same exact thing that we did in number 3, only we've got a different table. So we have to go through the same exact steps. If you have any questions, you can rewatch question 3 if you want. Otherwise, I'll walk you through it. Once again, I'm just going to tell you the steps that we're using on our blue sheet. If you have any questions with the steps, either raise your hand or watch previous videos to help you get better with those. So question 4 says, examine the table at the right, comparing the height of a person to their shoe length. Use your calculator to find the LSRL and the correlation coefficient. All right, well, since we already did step 1 and 2, today we don't have to do those steps again. We can just start out with step number 3, entering new information into your calculator. But before that, we want to make sure that we're not looking at this data anymore. We want to make sure we're looking at the new data. So we want to clear the list. This is step 7 on your blue sheet. So step 7 says to do second plus 4, enter. Second plus 4, enter. You'll say it as you will see it says clear all lists, done. All right, so now we can start at our step 3, which is stat enter. So stat enter, and now our lists are empty, and we can start putting in data. So scroll left ones to get to L1, and we can start putting in that data. It starts with 150 for the height, 180, and so on. Go ahead and pause the video to make sure you include all those numbers. Perfect, and after you've entered them, you can scroll up to the last number, and you'll see numbers. There's 7 numbers. If you count the amount of numbers we have, we once again have 7, so that's perfect. Go ahead and hit the right button so you can scroll over, and now start typing the shoe length. And we can scroll up and see that, yes, once again, we have 7 numbers, so we're good to go. Step 4 says create the scatter plot. Y equals. Now I can see my plot 1's already on, so I don't actually have to do this step, the y equals up, enter, down, because I want that plot 1 to be highlighted. So as long as that's highlighted, we're okay to go to the next part of that step, which is zoom 9. So go ahead and hit zoom 9. And there we go. So what do you think the correlation coefficient is going to be for this one? I can see that it's going in a positive direction. It's going up. So I know my number has to be positive. I can also see that it's got a pretty strong correlation. Not all of the dots are going to be on the line, but they're all going to be really close. So my guess for this one would be somewhere between around 0.9. But we'll see what the correlation coefficient is when we calculate it, which is our next step. So step number 5, find the regression model. So we're going to hit stat right 4. Stat right 4. Hit enter a bunch of times till we get down to calculate. Press calculate, and there we go. So what is the least squares regression line? So our LSRL is going to be y equals 0.30. That 29 is going to round up to 30 because of that 5. So 0.30x minus 21.10. That 10 will just stay 10 because of the 3 right next to it. So y equals 0.30x minus 21.10. Next question says, what is the slope of the linear model and what does it represent in the situation? So once again, the statement is going to look very, very similar to the one in part 3. So remember, your slope is change of y over the change of x. Well, this would be 0.30 over 1. So for every increase in 1 centimeter, since that's our x, so for every increase in 1 centimeter of height, there is about an increase of 0.30 centimeters of shoe length. So y over x. 0.30 is our change of y, and 1 is our change of x. What does the R value of your LSRL tell you about the strength of the association? So my R value is 0.976, which will round up to 0.98. And so this is going to say that it is a strong, since it's very close to 1. It is positive, since it's a positive number. It's a strong positive correlation.